screens surrounding it. Combo. See Supreme Master TV alongside 3 or more smaller screens of Max. Enjoy our TV and the immense blessing at the same time. The download button downloads a video or audio file of the most powerful
Hello
daily
everyone.
prayer to your device to keep
In
the
this
positive
video,
energy flowing without
I'm
the
going to
internet connection.
derive other
Please tell
parameters
all you know, all
associated
others,
with
so
a
this can help
rectangular
the whole world
waveguide.
to be saved. Print
These
out a Supreme
parameters
Master TV
include
Max card
the
to
wave
distribute
numbers,
wherever you go. For
the
example,
characteristic
safe for
impedance,
That kind of
the
concentrated, huge, incredible energy will bless
many
your
other
home,
things like
bless
the
your environment, your village,
dominant
your
modes
town or your city, and it
and the
may
cutoff
possible that to
frequencies.
bless your country, bless the world.
In the previous
In
slides,
our world,
we have already
have
learned
less
the general
disasters,
solutions
less war,
to a
more
rectangular
happiness,
waveguide.
more
We know
intelligence,
that
and more
for TMOs,
abundant blessings
the
in our life. Just try
electric
it
field
and
in the
you'll see
direction of
the
propagation
miracles that will
can be
happen.
expressed as A of Mn and then times sine and then n pi x divided by A and sine and then n pi y divided by B. We also know that for TEMOs, the magnetic field in the direction of propagation can be expressed as B of Mn times cosine n pi x divided by A and then cosine n pi y divided by B. And with this, we can find a lot of other things. Yeah, the very first thing that we can know is the cutoff frequency. And to begin with, we are going to find out the cutoff frequency first. We know
by creating peace, we all can make a loving, serene, and prosperous
the
world.
wavelength, the wave number or the cutoff direction can be written in this manner. This one is k of x and this one is k of y. Yeah. And we know that k is equal to omega times square root of epsilon of mu. So equation 1 becomes like this. We substitute k with this amount. And if we take this out, now we are going to find out the cutoff frequency first. So to begin with, we need to know what is cutoff. Cutoff means there is no longer any propagations. With low propagations, this means kz is below 0. It can be 0 or negative. Then in this case, the wave is pretty much unguided. And with this in mind, we determine that there is no more propagation. And this is where the frequency for this to happen is so-called the cutoff frequency. And in order for the wave to be able to propagate, the wave number has to be real. And if we can't get that, this means there will be low propagation. So essentially, the threshold for Kz is 0. And for this to be 0, we need to make sure the term inside the square root is 0. So this is what we need to do. And we need to make sure for the wave to be able to propagate in a waveguide medium, we need to make sure k square is greater than this. This means omega square times mu and epsilon is equal to this. And with this in mind, then we can use this to find out the minimum frequency. The minimum frequency, according to this equation, should be equal to 1 divided by 2, the velocity divided by 2, and then times square root of kx squared and ky squared. So we determine that the lowest possible frequency is the cutoff frequency. And in different mode, the cutoff frequency will be different. So this is the one.
This caution must be applied by all contact
The
all meditation centers,
V of px0 is the phase velocity in the waveguide medium.
Such a malign event ever happens again.
Okay, the next thing that we know is the wave number.
Good times,
We already
times,
know
any times. Remember the
previously,
grace
we
and love
already
of
have
the
this
three
formula.
united most
What we are
ones,
going to do
God,
is to
Timko2, and the
expand
Son
this
of God.
formula and then find out the
For more
actual
details
expression
and free downloads,
for
please
K of
visit
Z.
suprememastertv.com/NWN. And for full channel listings,
So here we go, and then we have this term. We
suprememastertv.com/worldwide.
take this term out of the square root, and then we get this. Now we are going to do something for this variable, and we know 1 over mu epsilon is actually the square of phase velocity. And we also know that omega is equal to 2 pi f. So as a result, we can cancel out the pi in these two brackets and the pi inside the omega square. And as a result, we got this formula, and we know that Vpx divided by 2 times square root of kx squared and plus ky squared is actually the cutoff frequency. Okay, so we just need to do one more step. Then here we go. The wave number in the direction of propagation is actually the free space wave number times the square root of, and then 1 minus this. So it all depends on the cutoff frequency. If the cutoff frequency is high, then the wave number will be small. If the cutoff frequency is small, then the wave number will be large.
In an exquisite array of colors.
Okay, phase velocity. And as you already know, the velocity is also inside the expression. And we know that the velocity is given by omega divided by k. K of z, which is the wave number in the direction of propagation, and we can use this to our advantage and then derive it. And previously we have already found this, and we just need to derive this.
The Buddhist and Hindu
We just derive this,
also teach the same.
and here we go. So this is the
vegetarian.
phase velocity. So you can, if we are talking about air, the feeling of the waveguide is air, and you will know that the speed of light is c. The speed of light Vpx0 will be c. Now, according to this square root bracket, it can be less than 1. This means the speed of light inside the waveguide can be larger than c. This is totally logical. totally logical. Maxwell derived this equation. Maxwell was born well before Einstein. So
I sincerely
there's nothing wrong with this.
saints and sinners are very, very
So when the
joyful
frequency
that
is
the
lower than the
Christmas
cutoff frequency, the denominator will be imaginary. Under these circumstances, there will be low cutoff frequency. So we have to make sure the frequency here is higher than F or C. If it is not, then there will be low propagation. And group velocity, and this is relatively less relevant to the microwave engineer. By definition, the group velocity is puzzle omega puzzle k, and if we do that and do the derivation, eventually this term, we will get this term. So essentially, the so-called group velocity is almost the opposite of phase velocity. So if you multiply the phase velocity with the group velocity, you will find a very interesting
Preserving Earth's resources for future generations also helps
very
maintain
interesting
the planet's
result.
peaceful balance.
I don't get
The
it here,
Wise Osage First
but I
Nation
have
people
derived
join
it.
you in sharing this message of caring
Okay,
stewardship.
guide wavelength.
In the boundless grace of the divinity, may humanity always honor the gifts of the earth and
The guide
assist in
wavelength is the
preserving a
actual
serene
physical
habitat
wavelength
for
in the
all
waveguide.
beings.
This wavelength will be most likely less than the free space wavelength, and we are going to derive the guided wavelength and express this in terms of the free space wavelength. So remember, the guided wavelength is given by the phase velocity divided by the frequency. And then the frequency itself, as we already know it, can be the velocity itself, as we already know it, is a function of frequency as well. So as a result, if we substitute this expression into this formula, we will get this. And of course, the phase velocity divided by the frequency is definitely the free space wavelength. So this is the so-called guide wavelength. If the velocity, if the frequency of operation is quite large, then the guided wavelength will be approaching the free space wavelength. The higher the frequency, the longer the wavelength, and the wavelength will be approaching the free space wavelength. Now the group velocity, I have looked, this slide has been missequenced. So if we find the product, we will multiply group velocity and phase velocity, and this will be the phase velocity square.
For full channel listings,
Okay?
please visit
And by the way, it's the fundamental phase velocity square. This means C squared. Intrinsic impedance. The intrinsic impedance can also be derived and expressed in terms of the cutoff frequency.
Supreme Master Television
And let's check.
all around the globe, broadcasting on worldwide satellites. We also
when you design a microwave circuit, for example, mixer, you can actually use different, you can use impedance matching technique to focus on different frequency band, and this is very common practice in mixer design.
band at 75 degrees
Okay, what
east
is
across
intrinsic
North Africa
impedance?
and the Middle East on
Intrinsic
Eutelsat
impedance,
7W MENA
by
K
definition,
band at
is the
70
ratio
west
of
or
the electric
nanosat
field.
position across
Okay,
East Asia
the
on
ratio of
maps
transverse
Y7
is
Ku
electric
band
field
at
and the
76.5 degrees
to
east
the
across
ratio
Russia and surrounding
to the
areas on the
transverse
ML 401
magnetic
K
field.
band at 90 degrees east
Okay,
across the Middle East on Yasat
so
1P
this means
Ku
like
band
this.
at
It can
52.5
be
degrees east
Tx
in sub-Saharan
e of
Africa and
x
Europe on Intelsat
divided by
20
x
Ku
of
band
y,
at
or e of
68.5
y
degrees east
divided
in
by
Central
x
and
of
South
x.
Americas as well as Mexico on Hispasat
Either one
30W-6
will end up
Ku
with the
band at 30
same
degrees west.
value.
In Canada, Joy TV on
So
Telesatellite TV.
we
In
do
Inner
that, then
Mongolia,
we take
Autonomous Region,
advantage of what
Buryatia,
we
Russia,
have
and throughout Mongolia
derived.
on D-Dish Satellite TV on channel 209. Throughout the United
And
States on
we don't need
Globalstar
to further
Satellite TV
derive it.
channel
We can
909. Across
the
Europe, the
solution
Middle
is
East, and North
automatically
Africa
here.
on Hotbird
For
13
example,
Ku band at 13.0
for
degrees east.
TEMO,
For
right,
full
we just
frequency
need to
information, please visit
have this one divided by this one,
suprememastertv.com/satellite. Additionally, Supreme Master Television is available on
and
video
this is
streaming
what we get,
television services worldwide
omega,
in more than 232
and
countries,
this one.
territories, and regions
And
via
remember,
Apple
K
TV,
of
LG
Z
Smart TVs, and Roku
is
Streaming
frequency
TV
dependent.
in 111 countries on Amazon Fire TV, in 144 countries via Android-based
So
TV
this is
systems,
what we
in
get
198 countries on
at
Samsung Smart
different
TVs, in 195
cutoff
countries on
frequency.
Viewed-enabled
We will
TVs
have
and
different
set-top boxes, on
impedance.
shortwave radio in Sub-Saharan Africa, Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East
And
on
similarly, for
770
TMO,
kHz, in
we can
South and
do the
Central
same.
Americas on 5800 kHz, in Central and
And
Eastern
for
United States
TMO,
plus
again
Canada,
the same
Bermuda,
way.
Greenland, and Iceland
The
on
characteristic,
9395 kHz,
the
in the
intrinsic
Western
impedance
United
will be
States, Western
the
Canada, and
transverse
Mexico
electric
on
field
5950
divided
kHz,
by
and
the
in Central, South, Southeast, and Western
transverse
Asia on
magnetic field,
7570 kHz, and on podcast
and
on
their
audible.com,
direction
Google
must be
Podcasts,
different.
iTunes,
So e of
SoundCloud,
x divided
Spotify,
by
and
x
more.
of
We
y,
have multiple
or
more channels which are
x
not
of x
announced here
divided
due to
by
lack of space and
e
time.
of y.
Please log on for your choices and areas,
So we
as
get
we might
this,
also have more new channels
and
anytime.
surprisingly, it's different from before. So for TEMO, this square root expression is at the bottom in the denominator. But for TMOs, this square root expression will be in the numerator. Okay? Finally, we are going to discuss dominant modes. Dominant modes is the mode which offers the lowest possible cutoff frequency. So you can substitute m or n with the lowest possible number. This number will determine the cutoff frequency. We already know the general expression for TMOs is like this, and for TEMO we already know this. Now take a look on TMOs. If m is 0 and n is 0, there will be low electric field in the direction of propagation, according to this equation. So m cannot be 0, n cannot be 0. Then the minimum value m and n should be 1. So that's why the lowest possible modes, the modes that can offer the lowest possible cutoff frequency, is TM11.
我们的节目提供多种语言，请看 suprememastertv.com/schedule 和 suprememastertv.com/NWN。
For TEMO is different. Yeah, let's go back to the previous page. This is the solution for TEMO. Can m be 1? Can m be 0? Yes, definitely m can be 0. If m is 0, then this term will be 1. And how about n? The same. N can be 0. So both m and n can be 0. But then there's a problem. If both m and n is 0, both m and n are 0, then what about the cutoff frequency? The cutoff frequency becomes 0 as well. Then it doesn't make sense. So one of them has to be non-zero.
In today's news, European
And
Union and
about
France
one,
pledge
right?
more funds
One of
to
them can
build
be one.
hydropower system in Olac,
So
also
this is
known
what
as
we need to find
Vietnam.
out.
Global study finds oceans losing their greenness due to climate warming. U.S. study suggests practicing meditation
Now
may
let's
reverse
substitute
brain aging.
uh,
10-yen company offers cost-effective, sustainable
M
building
and
material
N
for homes. Syrian woman
equal to 0
empowers
here.
children in refugee
Then
camp
you
through
can see it very
education.
clearly.
German
The cutoff
vegan
frequency
protein
becomes
brand
0. It
expands
doesn't
into
make sense at
frozen
all.
and ready-to-eat
Then we are dealing
vegan
with
meat line, and United
TEMO.
States agency
So
reports
it doesn't
sea
make
turtle
sense.
pork population rebounding
Actually, not
worldwide.
even
All this
TEMO.
and more
Because
on
we don't
Supreme
even
Master
know
Television,
whether
your constructive global network.
Team Europe reveals plans to advance renewable energy in
yeah, it's
Olac,
TEMO.
also known as
With
Vietnam.
both of them
For
as
more
0.
than 30 years,
But we are now
the
dealing
French
with
Development
TEMO.
Agency, or AFD, has been
So
contributing to
this
Olac's
frequency
or
cannot be 0.
Vietnam's growth by supporting
So
agricultural
how about
production, industrialization, and infrastructure development.
0, 1?
During the Global Gateway Forum held in Belgium
M
on
is
October
0,
9th and 10th,
N
the
is 1.
European Union,
So if M is
and
0,
various European
then the final
entities,
term,
known collectively
final
as
cutoff
Team
frequency will
Europe,
become
announced a support
this
package of
divided by
nearly
2b.
500 million US dollars for the Buckeye Pump
2b.
hydro
Because
storage project under Olaf's or Vietnam's Just
1
Energy
over b,
Transition
square root
Partnership.
of this is
The
1
initiative
over
will
b.
provide citizens with a reliable source of green energy while
And
creating skills,
for
increasing
the cutoff
economic
for
growth, and bringing the nation
1
closer
0
to its
more
goal of reaching
TE10,
decarbonization by
the cutoff
2050.
frequency will
The
come like
European
this.
Union has a
So these
total
are
of 12
the
Shining
2
World Leadership Awards
lowest
to date for
possible modes.
compassion, earth protection,
Or
humanitarianism,
if
peace,
A's
food
and B's are
carrying, and
equal,
unconditional world
then we
care.
can just
Thank
choose
you,
either
European
of
Union,
those.
French
But for
Development Agency,
waveguide,
and all
we
involved for
deliberately make
supporting Olac or Vietnam. We all
the width
countries
to be
need
longer.
renewable
We
energy to protect our
deliberately make
beautiful planet
A
in the
to be
Almighty's
longer.
guidance.
So in
Oceans
this
becoming
case,
less green as rising temperatures curb plankton
this
growth.
cutoff
A
frequency,
recent article published
FC
in the journal
F
Science
of C,
Advances
comma 1
analyzed more
0,
than 20 years of
will offer
satellite
the
and
lowest
ship
possible
data and
cutoff
found
frequency.
a
And
steady
that's
loss
why
of
the
ocean
dominant
greenness.
mode will
This
be this one,
phenomenon reflects a decline in phytoplankton,
TE10.
microscopic organisms that produce much of Earth's oxygen and
How
absorb
about
large amounts
TM11?
of carbon
TM11
dioxide.
will have
The
a higher
decline is most
cutoff
visible
frequency.
in
So
coastal waters,
it
where
cannot
warmer
be
surface
the
layers are
dominant mode.
preventing nutrients
But it can
from
be a
reaching the upper
dominant
ocean, thus limiting
TM mode.
plankton growth. This trend
Okay?
suggests that the ocean's
So
natural ability to regulate Earth's climate is weakening,
if you have
with
any
potential
question,
long-term
please
consequences for the
leave your
balance of
question to the
marine
comment section
ecosystems
of
and the
this
global carbon
video.
cycle.
Thank you.
What concerning news? Our appreciation